What are your plans after graduation? Almost always, when you are appearing for the F1 visa interview, you will come across this question almost on a mandatory basis. The way you answer it governs whether you get your visa accepted or rejected. In this video, I'm going to be telling you exactly how we have actually helped cases overcome rejections, even not just get the visa in their hands the first time. Also, even applicants who had been rejected came to us and we were able to actually get them the visa by actually following the same tips that I'm going to be giving you in this video for free. So make sure that you watch till the end. Let's talk about problems. What are the problems when you come across this question? Number one is that you already know that they're probably preparing to give you the 214B rejection. That is that you don't have enough home ties. You'll basically stay in the US after you graduate. Just in case they get any hint of that, they will of course throw you under the bus over there. And that's why they're asking you this question, right? That's the problem number one. Problem number two is that most students who appear for this question, who appear for the interview, and they have this question in front of them, they already know that they actually have plans to work in the US. Those plans can be very realistic. They may have very concrete plans, but they're trying to hide it from the officer, of course. Problem number three is, of course, as you know from points 1 and 2, if the officer finds out that you have plans of settling down in the US, well, you're not going to be getting that visa today at least, right? So these are the three problems that I see in front of you, and I'm going to be telling you exactly how you can make sure that this does not happen with you. By the way, for those of you guys who need more one-on-one support, we also have the US Visa Mock Interview Service, where we have helped thousands of students. Every single year we work with them and we help them overcome rejections. We help train them in a way that they don't even get rejected in the first place in case they come to us in advance. And we can do that for you as well. Just in case you'd be interested, make sure that you check out the link in my description. So here are my tips for you, by the way, for this question. The number one tip is pretty obvious. Avoid talking about any plans that you may have to work in the US. Remember, plans can change. You don't even know if you're actually going to work in the US for the most part. So stop talking about that altogether. And I'm pretty sure this is a pretty obvious tip and most of you guys knew it, but just in case you had any doubts in your mind, well, you should avoid talking about it. Second, during the whole course of your interview, and not just for this question, I want you to remember, stay away from the word opportunities. This word essentially means whether you're talking about the location, I'm going to New York, let's say, and that location is so great, has a lot of opportunities. What does opportunities mean in general, right? It basically just means that you are going to go ahead and settle down in the US because you want jobs, internships, whatever contracts, whatever you're looking for. They're all opportunities, of course, at the end of the day, right? You want to lay off of this keyword. Number three tip that I have for you over here is to focus on coming back to your home country. You could be anywhere in the globe 2 or 3 years or 4 years later whenever your program ends. It doesn't have to be realistic. Whatever you're talking about over here, focus on coming back to your home country that has the highest acceptance rate. You don't want to go ahead telling people that, oh, I may be in Cuba, I may be in this country, maybe in that country. Talk to them in simple terms that they really understand and the terms that have helped us get the maximum possible acceptance rate among students. Alright, so talk to them in their own language. And of course, point number 4, as usual, is to speak confidently. This does not work. I repeat, this does not work if you're not confident. Alright, it's very important that you talk to them in a confident manner, even if you were rejected last time. It doesn't matter. Be confident, show them that you've got what it takes, and show them that the last rejection was probably just a mistake. Right? So make sure this time you're very, very confident. And of course, if you've not been rejected ever, don't worry. But yeah, for the first time, you can have cold feet. You can be a little bit nervous. And if you're still nervous, that's great. That's actually good. Use it as your power because that actually tells you that you care about this thing too much to let yourself fail at it. Now, let's talk about how do we actually answer this question. I'll give you some tips, of course, for the exact answering script that we have, and then I'll give you an example answer, okay? The first, and I would say the most major methodology of answering this question is to focus on home ties. That's what they reject you on the basis of, right? That this person doesn't have enough home ties, give him a 214B. Well, you're gonna have enough home ties. Let me give you a couple of examples. Remember, these are not all of them. This is not an exhaustive list, but these are very common, good reasons that you can move forward with. And these have helped thousands of applicants that we've worked with overcome rejections as well. So I don't see how this does not help you if you're going for it the first time as well. You can talk about things like your family business. If you have a family business and that you're heir to, basically, that you will be handling later on, you can of course, always lean on that business. That's a very good way to do that. And if you can use your education in this family business, that's great. You can actually mention that. You can also mention that you're the only child and your parents need support in their old age and they're already pretty old, so you need to come back. And that's a very traditional common reason. Almost everyone cites that, no matter who they are. But yeah, that's one more reason that you can use. The third one over here, most people don't know about this, but this has worked wonders in overcoming rejections for our clients. Let me just tell you how. A letter from your employer. If you have been working a job in your own country, you get a letter from your employer, right, which states that your promotion is contingent on the completion of this degree. You will become the senior manager or VP of sales or something of that sort, whatever, right? You'll be promoted to this position after completion of this degree. That's a very great letter if you can get your hands on something like that with of course the letterhead of the company you're working for and the signature of your manager or whoever is basically supervising you. But at the end of the day, if you can get something like that, that will always do wonders in terms of helping you overcome rejections, or even if you're going for the first time also, it will actually help you get through. Of course, carry this letter with you when you go on for the interview. That's of course very important. The second tip I have for you over here is to use trends to strengthen your claim. Now, what are trends? Trends are essentially pathways. A lot of people, let's say your seniors from your batch or people that you have already known, have already studied at this particular university, and then they come back to their home country and they work at this position, they get promoted or something like that. If you have such trends, that's great. You don't even have to present proof for those trends, but you just have to mention them as such. If you can do that, that's also going to be a huge pro. And of course, finally, you can always use multiple reasons. It doesn't have to be just one reason. It could be multiple reasons. There could be multiple scenarios that you're dealing with, right? Of course, and on the basis of that, and like I said, this is not an exhaustive list. There could be a lot of things that could be your reason to come back to your home country, right? Here's the sample answer now. Remember, very carefully listen to this, note it down if you need to, but your answer should be somewhere along the lines of this one. Alright. Officer, I plan to come back to India and work in my current company or join PwC as their tech lead. Studying MIS and joining PwC as a tech lead has been a common trend amongst my seniors as well, and I look forward to joining them over here. I also have my parents to take care of as I am their only child. You see, short, crisp, simple. You do not extend it. This is only a 3-line answer, and you really don't want to overdo it as well, because if you get interrupted, that's not really good for your confidence as well, right? So anyway, pretty simple answer, gets the job done. You do not need to go ahead and dive any deeper. Of course, make sure you have all the tips in your mind. And if you need more help, one-on-one help is always available with us on YMGrad.com. You can take a look at the US Visa Mock Interview Service. We also have, of course, more such videos coming up in our visa series right now that is going on. So make sure you subscribe to the channel. You will find many more videos just like this one in your feed. And of course, make sure that you're following us on Instagram, because there's a lot more short form content that we post over there, on the basis of which you can actually also get help, not just regarding visa interviews, but also regarding a lot of other opportunities and tips and scholarship opportunities, all of that on one single page. I hope that this video helps you, and I hope to see you in the next one. Goodbye and take care.